Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let them come.
You know, it literally just came to mind that intro fits perfectly because there's a Transformers movie coming out. So, hey, JS. Anyway, welcome back to another episode where Heartbreak Feels Good. And this time around, we are back with our box office predictions, and we are looking back at the summer. And what an interesting summer! Joining me today is Evan to discuss all of it.
You got to be back. Yeah, we had a Transformers. The Transformers opening finally made sense. We're right once a year. Clock strikes twice once. I don't know. I forget the saying.
Every 2 years.
There we go. But yeah, will Transformers 1 be on our box office predictions? You'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Recapping the summer box office from May through August. And then giving our final box office predictions for the year now. As you look at September through December and see what could be the box office champions by the end of the year. Will it be a higher grossing season than the summer? Probably not. But there's a lot of potential here for the back half, especially in November and December. So exciting, curious. I'm excited to see what we get here for the fall. But before we do that, obviously we got to go over the summer. And I think this was a kind of predictable, but not so predictable summer. There was some surprises. I think in May had most of the surprises, but June and July had some of the predictable juggernauts do their predictable explosions.
You want to see? You want to look at our lists for the summer?
Let's do that.
All right. And before I do that, while I do that, I'm gonna make a little bit of a quick announcement. So, we here at Where Heartbreak Feels Good, we collected all of physical media, and sometimes with that comes a lot of repeat digital copies of movies. So this time around, I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to win a movie, a digital code for a movie. And since a certain little Tim Burton movie is coming out this weekend, leave a comment of what was your favorite movie that you watch or TV show that you watched during the summer, or what are you most looking forward to in the fall or holiday, and we'll pick a winner and we'll send you the code for the original Beetlejuice. So in 4K. So
4K, that's exciting. Yeah, definitely do that. Leave a comment. You think that would work we can do that for Twitter as well too, if somebody wants to comment on Twitter. Ironically enough, Nathan and I are going to watch Beetlejuice on tomorrow, because I've never seen it before. So yeah, I've never seen the first Beetlejuice, so I want to see that and prep for Beetlejuice.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, you're all good.
Can you see it?
Yep.
All right. Nice. That is our list.
The Danger Zone. I think both of our Danger Zones were pretty effective. Harold and Purple Crayon and Borderlands properly flopped, as we knew they would. I think they're already both on digital, probably.
Yeah.
I think Harold easily did worse.
But the question is, which one was more expensive? I think
probably Borderlands. Borderlands is way more expensive, 100%. Looking ahead here, though, we're looking at our list here. Deadpool, Wolverine, Inside Out. Of course, obviously, you get the biggest juggernauts because you went first, and I had a choice. I fucked up. I had a choice. Do I do Inside Out 2, or do I do Despicable Me 4? Despicable Me had the Minions franchise. The last Minions did way more than the first Inside Out. So I figured that Minions wave would continue with Despicable Me 4, and it'll perform. And the other Despicable Me movies did way better than Inside Out. Little did I know that Inside Out 2 would not only usurp the first one, but double. Pretty much double what the first one did. I think the first one made 800 something million, which was a big success for an original property. And then the second one, Inside Out 2, has now made over $1.67 billion, which is crazy. It is now officially, no matter what people said a month ago, it is now officially the highest grossing animated movie of all time. 1.667. Yeah, there we go. $1 million for Inside Out 2. 154 domestic opening. Would have had the biggest opening of the year if it wasn't for Deadpool and Wolverine. But yeah, this is huge. This is easily going to be, probably already is, the highest grossing movie of the year. I don't see, spoiler alert, I don't see anything this fall surpassing $1.67 billion.
And like we've discussed this on the show, I think like a month or two ago about Inside Out 2, how we felt about it, and I liked it a lot. But in retrospect, it is kind of a weird movie for people to like keep coming back to. Not because it's bad or anything, again, but if you would have told me back in January, what do you think is going to be the highest grossing movie of the year? Inside Out 2 would have maybe been top 5, but not my first choice.
Top 5 for sure, though. I think, looking at the movies for 2024, I would have had Deadpool and Wolverine number 1. I would have thought Deadpool would have been more than Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, the family trend has been huge. The family animated movie trend has been huge the past couple of years. Last year was Super Mario's. This year it's Inside Out. I forget what we had in 2022, but like it's been wild. It's been animated movies, especially for franchises and famous IP, have been very successful. And Inside Out 2 is paramount of that. And we also had some interesting discussions over the summertime outside of the box office in terms of the future of Pixar. Pixar was kind of flailing, at least in their eyes, not in the audience's eyes. The movies have been well received.
On a business standpoint, they did it to themselves with Disney Plus. Yeah,
exactly, right? People really liked Turning Red. People really liked Elemental. People continued to go and see that. It was way better than people were expecting. And then, what were the other ones? Luca, the great music ones.
Lightyear, one. Big bomb.
But Lightyear was a big bomb. So it's like, okay, we want them to do more original ones, but they came out with a big banger with Inside Out 2. And hopefully, this 1.67 billion, hopefully 33% of the people making 1.67 billion, hopefully 33% of that go in to go see 859.
Almost double.
Yeah.
Or already doubled.
Like hopefully like 33%, a third of the people who went to go see Inside Out 2 make it such a massive hit. Hopefully they go to see your Leos or your future original Pixar movies. We got one in 2025, which is Leo. We have one in development in 2026. And despite, D23 championing the Frozen, Toy Story, Zootopia sequels, which are obviously going to be hits, hopefully Inside Out 2 got people remembering, hey, Pixar is not just in streaming, it's also in theaters. Please come out for all of our movies in theaters, not just the sequels.
It can be just as much of a theatrical event as the live action movies. Yeah,
exactly. So take the risk for the original Pixar movies like they did for the first Inside Out 10 years ago. Nearly 10 years ago. So yeah, that's my hope for Pixar, but I'm so glad that Inside Out 2 made a lot of money. I'll say it again. I really liked Inside Out 2. I thought it was a really well done movie. I was talking to some friends about it over the weekend, and we were like, oh yeah, we saw Inside Out 2. We really liked it. It was really surprising. We liked Riley's character arc, and we had fun with the movie. It's very good. People keep saying like, is anybody talking, which I hate the argument. Is anybody talking about this movie? Like,
yeah.
Stop it. Stop it. Just because a movie makes a lot of money doesn't mean it's like always going to be a conversation starter.
Also, I feel like Inside Out 2 feels like the perfect example of a movie that a lot of people keep talking about, like the general audience in person. But like just because your timeline is not showing that doesn't mean that people are not talking about it.
Exactly. So happy for Inside Out 2. And yeah, again,
you want to go to another animated movie? Your pick?
Let's do it. Let's go to Despicable Me 4. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that did. 915, which a silent 915, right? Like, this is crazy. Like, and it did exactly what I thought it would. I said, okay, Despicable Me 4, the last couple Despicable Me movies have made more than Inside Out, 859. So I figured, I mean, obviously I knew Inside Out 2 was going to be a little bit more than the first one. But I didn't think double. So I figured, okay, I'll hedge my bets on Despicable Me 4, which has a high chance of making $1 billion. Didn't quite hit $1 billion, but 9/15 is nothing to sneeze at. It's one of the highest grossing movies of the year, probably the third, fourth highest grossing movie of the year with 9/15. Not a lot of movies have gotten there around the world, but definitely even in the US, 9/15 is a huge accomplishment. I think it's only behind the likes of, oh, there we go, Rise of Gru, the last one, 9/40. So it's in the same vein.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm pleasantly happy with that performance from Despicable Me franchise. That franchise is very much everlasting, and the Minions can go on forever through a variety of different entities and properties there. So good on what is it? What company is this?
Illumination.
Illumination. There we go. Illumination. I always forget that. But yeah, this was a good success for Illumination over the summer again. Another example of franchises being the biggest thing on the market.
And this is the overall domestic for the summer.
Thank you. Domestic. There we go. Yeah. 651 to 600s. It's been a hard reach post-COVID, post-2020 to get to that 600 benchmark again. It was reached in 2021 by Spider-Man No Way Home, the only one to do that in 2021. 2022, we had Top Gun Maverick cross that mark. I think Top Gun and
Avatar, maybe?
Avatar, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, there's another one. Avatar and Top Gun were the only ones to hit 600 in 2022. 2023, we had Barbie, I think, cross 600.
Oppenheimer, maybe? I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Oppenheimer got close. I think it might have, yeah.
I can check. Let me see.
Thank you. Please do that for me. So yeah, but this is interesting. Specifically looking at 2024, we've had two. And again, stick around for this podcast. We'll do our predictions for the fall. Will any movie in the fall hit 600 million? That crazy, ridiculous number. If a movie is hitting 600.
It was only Barbie last year.
Only Barbie. This is for summer.
Yeah.
Did
summer.
Did Oppenheimer go on to make 600 domestic?
I can click it. Let me see.
Let's see.
329.
It only made 329 domestic. Okay, it tapped out there. But oh my god, worldwide. I mean,
wild.
International, it made a lot. Which is interesting. I always think of Oppenheimer as like a famous American tale. That's why it interested us so much. But like, I didn't expect people from around the world to be so captivated by one of the U.S.'s worst mistakes. Maybe that's why though.
That Nolan factor, baby.
That Nolan factor, exactly. Nolan, Villeneuve, they put people in seats. So yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine. Let's click on Deadpool. Let's talk about it right now. Deadpool and Wolverine, one of the biggest hits of the summer, second only to Inside Out 2. But Disney's happy either way.
It'll probably cap at 1.3.
Well, probably kept at 1.3. And I was telling my brother this. Remember back in the day in 2017 when people said Last Jedi was bombing at 1.3 because it didn't make as much as
The Force
Awakens. People were like, oh, look at this failure by The Last Jedi. 1.3? Oh my gosh. Cut to most movies make 1.3. Most sequels or in that vein, that 1 to 1.5 range.
Pre-COVID days, yeah.
Pre-COVID
Captain Marvel
days,
made
exactly.
like about that almost. I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Captain Marvel made like a 1.2, 1.1 billion, which is crazy for an original superhero. But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, it did as we expected. We saw slow increases, I think, for the Deadpool franchise. I think the first one was like 830, second one 850. And then now we have, of course, it's a net in here. And then the second one made 1.2 or 1.3 soon to be $1 billion. This is a big hit, and again, as I mentioned up top, predictable. I didn't love this movie,
No.
but I think I liked it more than Edgar and Josh. I think it was a very fun romp. And will I see it again? Probably. I'll probably see it for a commentary with Nathan on My Cup of Tea. Like and subscribe. But it's a fun movie. It did exactly what I thought it would be. Fun. And again, I'll reiterate, I didn't think the cameos were as egregious as I was expecting. And I like how small knit they were. Did they have a big impact? Probably not. But again, I like how small knit they were. It wasn't as like, here's everybody from Fox, do your thing. But Yeah, one of the fastest movies as well to reach 600. I think it was 39 to 40 days, I think, for Deadpool Wolverine to hit 600. Happened this weekend. So somebody can do the math for me there. But I think it beat 600, getting to 600 before the likes of Way of Water. So that'll be interesting to look at for next year. But yeah, nothing much to say here. This was a huge jump, just like we saw for Inside Out 2. This was a huge bump compared to the previous movie, and especially in our post-COVID days. We're seeing these juggernauts do their juggernaut things.
Where do you want
So
to go
there we
next?
go.
You know,
Let's go.
the one that surprised me that's here, it's Bad Boys, but we can go to Twisters if you want to.
Let's go to Twisters. I made a note of this on my app because I was putting some notes for the podcast throughout the summer. And on Twisters, I have great debut domestically, internationally, nothing, which is shocking. I thought this would be a good international. Usually, international people love their international features. They love their international. No, sorry, international people love their disaster movies.
Yeah.
At least they're easily marketable, especially China, Japan, Asian.
You can
market.
treat it as a monster movie, essentially.
Exactly. We know how, Asian markets specifically love monster movies. That's most of their IP over there in China, Japan, and South Korea. Monster varieties. And we talked about how the beauty of the Twister franchise, both movies now, the Twisters are very monstrous in their sound design and their devastation. So I thought that would carry over. Glenn Powell, for as much as a huge star he is domestically, and is slowly becoming a movie star. That's the thing. He's slowly becoming a movie star. It's the recent variety that he's had. It's kind of like the McConaissance. It's like Matthew McConaughey had been around for a long time, but people call it the McConaissance because of the consistency of that early mid-2000s era, where it was like every other month or every couple months you get a big McConaughey movie. And it's the same thing here, where it's just the consistency of Glenn Powell. We're not sure if he can consistently put people in seats yet internationally, and I think this is proof of that. But I think domestically, Glenn Powell is slowly starting to become pretty much a household name. He helped Anyone But You have long domestic legs in January, December.
Yeah.
Hitman was on the Netflix top 10 for a very long time.
If we trust him.
If you trust them, exactly. I mean, I rewatched it twice. I love that movie. Still my top 10 of the year, Hitman.
Yeah.
Great movie. Just look at the phone apps or the notepads.
The note.
And then Twisters. For me, I really, really like this movie. I talked about it with Edgar and Josh in our July updates. But again, I feel like it's one of those perfect movies that could have been perfect if they just, did one small change. That's just me personally in terms of like the romance of it all. Yeah. But I thought Glenn Powell was excellent. And I think Daisy Edgar Jones was the heart, the anchor, the best part of the movie for me. It's a movie I cannot wait to buy in 4K. I cannot wait to go see it. Because I
miss that 4DX experience, baby.
I'm good. I don't need all that shit. I don't know.
But yeah, Twisters is an interesting one because one, like you mentioned, like the international numbers, and this is not just a case for Twisters. This has been the case for multiple movies now post-COVID, that China doesn't really seem to be the big juggernaut that we used to target to.
That's a great point
of movies. So that's for one point, and then point B would be, I know this was distributed, I think, like partially like by Universal and Warner Brothers. I think Warner Brothers got the international part and Universal got the domestic. And Universal did a really good job marketing that movie here, but I don't know how well Warner Brothers did like marketed like international. So part of the blame could be on WB. Maybe. I mean, we know that that company is a disaster right now anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, that could be some of the factors why this didn't hit internationally.
Good point. WB is also the one doing Beetlejuice this weekend, right? That's their property. So maybe they're going to get another hit on their hands this year. WB has been pretty good this year. I think they're only third to Disney and Universal this year in terms of the studio wrap-up. Yeah. But yeah, this was a pretty good debut. Twister is still $259. That's one of the bigger domestic, as we saw with the chart Edgar just showed us. That's one of the bigger hauls of the entire summer and of the entire year. 259. It's a really great performance. But I want to point to something else, Edgar. It's one of the first things that we saw for the box office for summer. Furiosa flames out.
Don't remind me.
Furiosa flamed out. Let's go to
Where
number 14
is it?
there. 14.
It hurts to see. 67. 105 international.
This is not so shocking, but it's how do I explain it? We knew it wasn't going to be a big hit. The last Mad Max became a hit
over time because of Oscar buzz and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Over time, critical reception was high, but it wasn't like, the big, like, this must be the big event. And I thought it was marketed decently well. I was excited to see it. And it's still one of the top 5 movies for me of the year. I really love it. Maybe top 6. I have not added Sing Sing to my thing yet, but wow, what a movie. But yeah, Furiosa is astonishing in terms of how great it is. But, one of the harmful, hurtful examples of excellence being received not so well by the regular audience. You get it's joining the ranks of Dr. Sleep, your Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, that Dr. Sleep, Blade Runner back-to-back hit just really hit all of us. And now it's back for Furiosa. I think all WB, by the way. Which sucks. But, WB has a lot of great talent on their hands. It's just that people aren't really going to see stuff like Furiosa. Which, again, it sucks because I love this movie.
I'm seeing the numbers for Dr. Sleep. This hurts to see.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. What happened? That's crazy. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Shining so good. But yeah, Furiosa. It kind of, one of the big parts about the unfortunate reality of it is that it kind of stopped in its tracks the third movie, Mad Max Wasteland, which was a not so rumored, production of the third entry in this Mad Max saga, focused on Mad Max himself prior to the events of Fury Road. We saw him teased here in Furiosa. Was he the one that dragged Furiosa back out of that after getting her hand cut off? We'll never know. But in Mad Max, if you guys will know, we see tons of quick flashbacks between him and his presumable daughter and his wife, and his family life, and then what happened, what did he do, what did they do, what happened to them, the tragedy of his family life prior to Mad Max Fury Road, and we'll never get to see it because, again, pragmatics aside, it's just like, what smart business person would be like, let's greenlit that for whatever.
Even though allegedly they got a lot of their budget from Australia anyway, but still.
Yeah, exactly. Furiosa, Australia did help with a lot of the tax incentives and stuff like that. But it's still a huge loss. I think this was like a $150 million production minus not even with marketing.
It's funny because you and we did pretty good on our draft this year, but we did. But we both have one movie that can hurt us.
Yeah, let's go back to our list.
Furiosa was mine, and for you, even though I think it did better than Furiosa, for you it was The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy, which I was, remember, if people remember going back to our episode there, I was kind of both ways between Fall Guy and Twisters. I kind of led with Fall Guy because it was the heat of the Fall Guy marketing. I was really falling in love with the marketing. I thought they did a pretty good job with the marketing. But again, maybe that's it. They did a good job of marketing for me. I love movies, and Fall Guy was like a movie about movies. So I was very much excited to see it. Funny enough, a lot of people that I went to go, or that I recommended go see this movie, didn't like it. They're like, Evan, I really just didn't like The Fall Guy. I'm like, oh, wow, I had a lot of fun with The Fall Guy. I liked the romance part of it. My friends didn't like the romance part of it. They liked the whole stunt action drama. They're like, the rom-com stuff didn't really work for me.
It's funny because for us three, it was the opposite. We like the romance more. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I think literally, I had another teacher at school who was like, Mr. Harris. I didn't really like The Fall Guy. Already at school, I'm the movie guy. And yeah, it's just funny. But I'm like, yeah, I really admire The Fall Guy. It's still one of my top 20 movies of the year. I have a lot of fun with The Fall Guy. One of David Leitch's best movies, honestly, for me at least. I think I put it. Is it his number one movie for me now? I
I
don't
think
know.
it might be, yeah.
It might be because I think his other one, Deadpool 2, man. I actually liked Bullet Train. I like Bullet
Atomic
Train.
Blonde.
Planet Blonde is. I'd rather watch Bullet Train than Atomic Blonde, to be honest. Atomic Blonde is
Mm.
just boring. I can't even tell you the plot of Atomic Blonde. Um, and then of course he did the Furious spinoff.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I forget
but,
he did that.
but yeah, let's look at, if you don't mind, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I thought this was one of
It's
what?
it's funny because Furious and the Fall Guy, we put it on the same place, like number 4.
Number 4, exactly. And our number 5 probably did a little bit better than our number 4s.
Yeah.
But yeah, King of Planet of the Apes, still top 10 movie of the year for me, at least. I cannot wait. It's already out on 4K. I need to buy it. I might ask for that for Christmas. We'll see. But yeah, King of Planet of the Apes, for me, it just works as a great world building film for a franchise that kind of is starting anew, which is the beauty of this franchise. You know, it's all about new life, new creation, new beginnings. Especially for the original or for the newest trilogy that Matt Reeves kind of continued with his second and third features. But the thing I like about Kingdom compared to I always forget the person who did Rise.
Yeah, everybody forgets.
Matt Reeves and the other guy. Sorry, guy. Doug Liman? No.
Nah,
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
He'll be remembered. Once you say it, I'm be like, oh shit, I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, Matt Reeves and the other guy, he did Rupert Wyatt. Thank you. Because I remember Rupert Wyatt did Rise. I loved it. And then he did this movie called Captive State, which came out in 2019, and I hated it so much. I'm like, what happened, Rupert Wyatt? Anyways, Kingdom. The reason I like it compared to the likes of other ones is that it's so adventurous. The other ones, and for their benefit, was a bit more character centric, dramatic in their artistry, depressing, especially Dawn. Dawn in War. War is a depressing, sorrowful, like
blockbuster,
like a limitation on like prison life and tragedy and symbolism and legacy. Between humans and apes. It's crazy good. I love War. And Dawn is what?
Kingdom made like 100 less than the last
one. Yeah, Kingdom made 100. But look at that. 146 domestic, 343 international for War. Now go to Kingdom again.
Oh, Kingdom.
And Kingdom has made a bit more domestic. It was performing really well domestically, in line with Rise and War. Not so much as Dawn, but then again, internationally, it didn't pick up that China contingent that War did that made it easily cross that 400 million benchmark. Yeah. I really wanted Kingdom to cross that 400 million benchmark. If people are curious why I say like 400 million as the benchmark,
that's like
it's because it's a sweet spot for executives who only look at the numbers. For better and for worse.
Barely getting there by 3 million.
Yeah. Again, it's like the, in politics, people say like, oh, so-and-so is winning, but plus or minus 3%.
Round up.
Yeah, it's like 3%. 3% is like the give and take. And it's in that league.
I don't think we're ever going to see numbers like this for this franchise again.
No, but see, Dawn only made like 30 million more domestically than Rise or than War and Kingdom. But internationally, that's where it hit a sweet spot. As again, like Apes on Horses was trending like crazy. Apes on Horses, there's tanks, and it's crazy, and it's like, oh my gosh. And had a Koba effect. Kingdom, I really, really admire the adventurous aspect. But even after the adventurous aspect, I really think Noah and the girl who I'm blanking on right now. I think she's an excellent character, very good character dynamics and arcs, and the way they surprisingly intermingle and falter by the end, sets up the next movie in a very fascinating direction. I cannot wait for it. Still no official announcement from 20th Century Studios about the next one, but prior to the release, the writers of the movie did talk a lot about, their plans, and that there are plans for future ones. Will they come to fruition? Hopefully sooner than later.
Where do you want to jump?
Let's go to a Quiet Place here. We'll do a Quiet Place. Then we'll do a Quiet Place, Bad Boys, and then we'll end on Alien because we got to move on to our predictions and other stuff. But yeah, Quiet Place day one here. Predictable, really good. Performing slightly better domestically than, or maybe it faltered towards the end domestically than the first two. I can't remember now. But 52 million was definitely the highest opening for the franchise ever, I think. The other ones made like 48, 47 million domestically. So then it did that well. Internationally, it couldn't continue as well. Yeah, other one at 47 for A Quiet Place Part 2 and 160 domestically. Yeah, that one didn't even cross 300 million. So yeah, and then the first one,
340.
Same thing. 50 million, 180, 152, 340. Yeah, and then go back to day one, please. So yeah, 260. So it did a little bit, 100 million less than the first one, which was, again, the first one was big. But this one, again, 2 million more domestically opening weekend. We just couldn't have those legs because this summer was a lot more stacked. So yeah, good performance though overall, especially for a spin-off film. And they have no need to worry about box office returns because the third one is definitely happening. John Krasinski will return for A Quiet Place 3, and that might wrap out the trilogy. But I like this movie. I think it's very emotional, definitely the most character-centric of the bunch, and it did a good job here, box office-wise. So yeah, let's look at Bad Boys here. Bad Boys Ride or Die, which I'm happy did very well, hit that 400 million benchmark. I think really the directors really hit their stride in terms of the direction of this franchise, the goofy nature, the back and forth between Mike Lawrence and Marcus, Mike Lawrence, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett. Great dynamic. Even though I didn't love, which one was it? Marcus's arc? I didn't love Martin Lawrence's arc in this movie in terms of I don't know what I'm going through, what's happening. But yeah, the afterlife stuff was really weird. But the direction was fun. The comedy was great. The villain really good.
That one moment, maybe one of the best moments of the year.
Yeah, the fiance or the husband now really came through, and that was one of the funniest and most immersive movie going experiences I've had all year for sure. 400 million for a Bad Boys franchise. I knew it was going to excel. I knew it was going to do this well, and I'm happy it did. I won a bet. My dad was like, "It's not going to hit 50 million." I'm like, "It definitely is going to hit 50 million." And look at that, making nearly as much as Bad Boys for Life.
Only 20 million less, which I mean, it's pretty good.
Exactly. For sure.
And it also proves that nobody gives a fuck about the slap.
Great point. Is Will Smith still a viable movie star since the Oscar disaster? Yes. Nobody cares. Full steam ahead on the sequel to I Am Legend, by the way. Which people are like, are people going to go see that one because of Will Smith now? How viable is he in other projects? This proved Bad Boys franchise is doing well. Might be the last one. We never know. It hit 400 million again, so it could be more in the future. But I think some other interesting ones that we saw here, Alien Romulus, the one that just came out recently. You had this in your top 5, and I was kind of nervous about it because I was like, Covenant, Prometheus did well. Covenant did not. And I was kind of worried for for Alien after the Covenant debacle. Interestingly enough, I was talking to my brother about this in terms of 20th century properties. I'm like, are audiences going to come back for Alien? Are they going to come back for Terminator? Are they going to come back for Predator? And Predator we saw was well received with Prey on streaming. Yeah. And now the next one's definitely going to be a theatrical one, with Elle Fanning.
Was this supposed to go to streaming originally?
It was, yes,
Yeah.
indeed. But then, of course, I think with the success of Prey on streaming, they were like, let's just put this in theaters.
Yeah.
It might have happened even earlier than that.
It was probably the Evil Dead Rise effect.
Probably Evil Dead Rising as well. But either way, Alien Romulus making a big success in theaters, especially in China, where 100 million,
Surprisingly, in
100
China.
million came from China, which is weird. I didn't expect that happening at all. But yeah, overall, this is great. Yeah.
Alien Covenant.
74, 36 million, $97 million budget, worldwide 240.
Not terrible, but not great.
Not terrible, but not great.
Prometheus, I still think it's the most profitable one of like the franchise.
Yeah, 400 million for sure. One of the most profitable, that's for sure. And 51 million for Prometheus. And then again, can you go back to Romulus? So yeah, it didn't hit 51 million in Prometheus, but it did really well. 285. It's going to hit 300 by the end of its run. Probably 330 by the end of its run. It's doing really well. So yeah, it just came out 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it has a long way to go still.
Yeah, and it's funny that for this summer we had like our version of what's it called, the Sound of Freedom, with like It Ends With Us, like sneaking into the top 10. I don't know.
Yeah, Blake Lively. Yeah, good job for that one.
We actually were right not to pick Garfield, even though like it did better than Furiosa, like for me, or like kind of like the same as the Fall Guy. It didn't do as well as we might have thought it was gonna do.
I'm with you. Other notable thing before we move on to our predictions: Long Legs did very well for Neon. Officially, Neon's highest grossing movie domestically, and I just think overall for Neon. This was not this summer for the Shyamalan family. Trap and Watchers was directed by his daughter. Trap was directed by himself, obviously. I didn't love either of those movies. Trap was more, entertaining than Watchers, way more entertaining than Watchers. But either way, Trap didn't do as well as people were hoping for a Shyamalan feature. $40 million would usually be the opening for a Shyamalan movie, but it just is his domestic haul right now. Not doing so hot. I don't know what the budget was though, so might not be much of a disaster.
Man, there's no budget yet.
No budget, but 73 million, below 100 million. I didn't see that coming.
Coraline sneaking into the top 20 out of nowhere.
My students are loving Coraline. They love Coraline in general. And then you see Watchers in 22 there. Not a great debut for that. It is not a great summer for horror outside of Long Legs. And of course, A Quiet Place.
Horizon.
So, Horizon flopped.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 is not coming out in August. August is over. So yeah, Chapter 2 never came out. Might hit streaming, might hit Max. You never know. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the notable features. A pretty decent summer feature we have here.
So how do you want to do this, Evan? Do you want to do the spinning thing, or
let's do the wheel? Let's keep it nice and easy for us. Kronk, pull out the wheel. Pull the lever, Kronk.
All right. All of these ads. Okay, cool. This wheel hates you, Evan.
You gotta be kidding me. But I like going from behind. Edgar, take the lead here. How much are we doing, by the way?
Do you want to do the same, like 5 and then the
5 and then let's do that.
Okay, give me a second. Let me go scroll down.
5 and then Danger Zone. Let me get my list out. I got my list and I got my calendar for backups as well. So again, this is gonna be an interesting fall. We're looking at September through December. There's some notable animated features, as we can see on the board here. Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim. I see Rohim, but it's Rohirrim. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
War of R. Transformers 1. Will that have a not Terminator? Will that have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles effect? And of course, there's big franchises towards November and December. What will Edgar go first? This is actually hard because I think
Yeah.
I have two movies here, and I'm like, I don't know which one for 1 and 2. Both
You know,
sequels.
you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I just
Let
I just
me
I
guess.
had
Let me guess. Let me guess. Let me guess.
okay.
Actually, I won't guess. I'll let you say just in case you pick something else.
Okay, I think I'm writing it.
Damn it!
Moana.
That was my number one. That was my number one. I think one of the big reasons that Moana 2 is one or again one or two uh, is because Moana has consistently been one of the most notable animated movies for kids. I see it as a teacher, so I'm seeing the point of view from sixth grade students. For the past 4 years that I've been teaching sixth grade,
It's like
Moana
it's
is
like
like,
one of the most successful movies on streaming, and this came out like almost 10 years ago.
yeah, and not just on Disney Plus,
Netflix too,
across
when
the
it
board.
yeah.
When it was on Netflix, all the time. On Disney, all the time. People know the songs verbatim. Whenever I'm looking for a movie, they're like, just play Moana, Mr. Harris, Moana, Coraline. And I love Moana, so I'll always play it because it's incredibly catchy, great lyrics. Unfortunately, we're losing Lin-Manuel Miranda for Lion King.
Is that unfortunate?
Yes, he's always good. People say but whatever they want about him, but like his music is always really good for me, at least. And a lot of the Moana signature stuff is from Lin. So that's kind of tragic. But the story looks more interesting than I thought, even though it was converted from a Disney Plus movie to theatrical. The animation still looks stellar. And I miss the characters. So I'm excited to see what this adventure goes on for us. But okay.
Those poor animators.
Those poor animators, I know, right? But at least the hair and water effects are amazing. Okay. Do you have anything else for Moana?
No, I'm just banking on again like the factors that we just discussed. Like that movie again, I was looking at the numbers for the first one. 2016 made 643 worldwide, 246 48 domestic. So again, I think we could be looking maybe not as big, but like kind of like an Inside Out 2 effect where the kids that grew up with that movie are now older, and you're gonna have like the new generation coming in. I mean, you're already having the new generation watching this movie religiously on streaming, so I feel like 2 is gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm a full agreement. I think Moana 2 is going to be huge. I'll have to go with the other one. I have to go for Mufasa here.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go for Mufasa here. I think I'm hedging my bets over the other. Whatever Edgar. I know what Edgar's thinking here, but I think Mufasa is more of a lock and key. Much more confident in this one. Lion King made 1.6. Yeah, it actually just got passed by Inside Out too. Lion King made $1.6 billion. Even if Lion King didn't have the best reviews, even if people were turned off by Lion King, this is coming out during the Christmas time, so we're going to have the Christmas corridor legs for families, and there's not a lot of big family appeal this Christmas besides Sonic, which could play like a jungle. What's it called? Jumanji. But you never really know. And I'm curious to see where Mufasa goes. And again, even if people are turned off by Lion King, even if half of the people will go see Mufasa, that's $8.5 million for Mufasa. I don't think we're going to get a huge drop off from Lion King to Mufasa. I think, in fact, we're going to get a lot of people going to see Mufasa. You get the musical talents are there. Lin-Manuel Miranda is there. Cast is stacked. And it's just Lion King. It's one of the most beloved properties of all time, with an original tale, which is enticing for audiences. And yeah, I'm predicting 900 plus million for Mufasa. That's my prediction worldwide for Mufasa. Moana, by the way, I'm predicting 1.1, 1.2 for Moana.
Yeah. I'm interested about Mufasa because that movie has a lot of competition in December, especially like family competition.
I
And
don't
I
think a
feel,
lot. I think just Sonic.
I mean, you don't. I mean, I don't think the Lord of the Rings movie is gonna
Flop.
make. I don't. I wouldn't say flop, but I mean, I guess we'll see. But that could like again like get more attention from certain other people. But yeah, like I don't know. There's for some reason I just don't feel as confident about Mufasa. Like Lion King, when the first trailer of that hit, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna make $1 billion. With Mufasa, I'm like, I don't know.
I,
Like
I think if people we're stuck in our cinema bubble where people are so critical of the movie in the first place. But you have to think about the general audience. I think the general audience, they see lions, they see, people singing in the Pride Lands, and it's gonna hit their nostalgia bubble again. And I think it's gonna be a success. I don't think, again, even if we're looking at maybe 1/3 of the people who went to go see Lion King and make it 1.6 billion, you're still gonna get like 400, 500, 600 million dollars for Mufasa, which I think is a lot of money what we're looking at for the fall franchises. I'll give you number two. I think I know where you're going with this, though.
actually, I don't even know because I have to. I'm
Okay,
between two.
me too. Me too. I
Yeah.
think between the two, I think these are interesting picks. What I'm looking for, I think both of these number one options are making $1 billion. Again,
Oh yeah.
Mufasa maybe like 900, but number two, I don't think the other options I think are going to be scratching $1 billion, but maybe not. So we'll see. Hurry up, buddy.
Uh, do I want to take a risk this early or
Oh wow, you going Transformers?
nah? Fuck it, I'll just do it. Wicked.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I figured you were going to go for, and I'm skeptical,
Yeah,
but I shouldn't be probably. I don't know.
I like again, like we were just talking with Mufasa. I feel like that's a similar situation where a lot of like the film people are like, "Eh, this looks kind of looks like slop or whatever." The general audience is just looking at Ariana Grande and like, "Oh, they're making Wicked into a movie, cool." Um, so I could see it just be like a straight like hit, like from beginning to end. Um, but also like I don't know if musicals like are weird. Musicals are weird these days. Sometimes you'll get
There,
something that are
yeah,
that will just like be a hit with audiences for some reason, and
like
then you
La
get
La Land or Greatest Showman. Yeah,
yeah, like what was the last big hit that was a musical? The Greatest Showman, and
I
since
think Greatest
then,
Showman was the last good one. We're probably missing a good one. I don't know.
I mean they've been good musicals, but they just haven't been doing
Yeah,
numbers.
exactly.
Uh, so this is a weird one, but again, I'm sticking with the brand name here.
And it's coming out the weekend before Moana, which is technically another musical. But yeah, November 22nd, the week before Christmas or Thanksgiving. So we're gonna have 2 weeks. Going against now Gladiator 2,
Gladiator 2.
which we might talk about. So yeah, this is interesting for Wicked here. It's a good spot. I just don't know. It's a musical, good cast. Part one. Will the part one effect affect the ultimate box office? We shall see. I'm predicting right now though 500 to 500 million, 500 to 600 million. I'm not expecting the most out of Wicked here, but I am expecting the most out of this next one for me. Joker Folie de Lou, whatever it's called. I butchered that. Joker 2, guys.
Joker 2.
Joker 2. The first one was previously the highest grossing movie for WB.
The highest grossing R-rated movie too, right? I think so.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe.
Yes. He got passed by Deadpool this year. For Leodu. We have the return of Joker, played by Joaquin Phoenix. Will he get nominated for an Oscar this year, like he
Probably
won in
not.
2019? Probably not. But we have the arrival of Harley, played by Lady Gaga. Will she get nominated this year? We'll have to
I'm
wait and
sure
see.
she wants to.
I'm sure she wants to as well. Is she best lead actress, best supporting actress? We'll have to wait and see. As for a different podcast, So yeah, I think again, Joker 1 made $1.1 billion. The trailer for Joker 2 seemed very interesting, just as beautiful as the first movie, at least. Stylistically, cinematography looks great. Production design looks really good. The acting looks really good. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of Joker, I still like it. And I'm curious to see where the story goes, how the musical elements work. You know,
Uh,
the director Todd Fields is saying like it's not fully musical, but the musical elements do affect the story, that kind of thing.
I love how he was like, it's not a musical, but the Joker will sing what he can express through words. It's like you're describing a musical.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so I don't think it's like musical like every other scene, but I think it's still musical heavy. So I think this one I have hitting like I don't know what's stopping me from saying it's going to hit $1 billion again. Besides, like the story might not be as novel as the first one.
I feel like this
But
could make a good 800.
800, yeah, I'll say 800 to a billion again. 800 minimum, I think. Yeah, 800 minimum for Joker 2. We shall see. Number 3, what do we got here?
I feel like I'm a little bit more at ease putting this here.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, good. You're not taking mine.
And the only reason why
Really, dude? How much do you think this is making this weekend?
I was looking at the numbers and right now the tracking, and again we can't really like trust the tracking, but like the tracking right now is looking between like
40?
80 to 94 million
Opening weekend or
opening
overall?
weekend.
Whoa!
Opening weekend. Like let me pull up this article by Slash.
Please do. What is this? Slash?
It's
Okay.
it's basically maybe gonna make it chapter 1 and 2 numbers.
I didn't see that happening.
Yeah, like this is weird. Like this is a weird one, but it also doesn't surprise me because, yeah, sure, the guy hasn't made like a big hit in a few years, but like people love Tim Burton and they really love this property. They
Do
really
they?
love the original.
Maybe because I'm just coming
you'll
across
be
as somebody who
surprised.
has. I have not seen the movie. I have not talked to a lot of people who have loved the Beetlejuice. For me, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm thinking we're looking at 50 million for this movie.
Hell, even Beetlejuice is a universal, like walking around every once in a while.
Yeah, I'll say 50 million. I'll go way below tracking. I'll go 50 million. I don't know if we're hitting the 81 to 94 million dollar range. I think we're going to get 50 million. It made sense to me. It's a killer clown from outer space. So I think 50 million for me makes sense, and I'm just going to stick it there. But I would be happy if this goes to 81 to 94 million.
And
Nothing
also,
else
like,
came out in a while, so.
yeah, and also you have to keep in mind it's not just a Tim Burton property. It's not just Beetlejuice. It's the Jenna Ortega factor, and this is really gonna test if she can open movies or not. And like the only reason
I'm skeptical.
the only reason I'm bringing it up is because this is not like her last movie that she made, like that movie, like what is Miller's Girl, whatever, where it's like a straight drama. Like nobody's really gonna watch that.
That was straight to
yeah, but like this is like Wednesday adjacent, and that was a big hit on streaming. Again, streaming
it was,
but
but how many people on streaming are going to coincide to go see Beetlejuice sequel? Do I have to watch the first one to see the second one? That kind of thing might be there. I just feel like Beetlejuice is a property that was beloved in the 90s,
80s, 90s. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go, 1988. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant. I'll say 50 million. I'll say 50 to 60 million. I'll go up because after seeing this tracking, I'll go I was saying 40 million, but I'll get 50 to 60. I see Beetlejuice capping out at around like 400 maybe overall, 400, 500 million overall for this kind of movie, which I think would be a good success for sure. Anything around that 400, 350 range for Beetlejuice would be good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This was the risk that I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
I'm glad
easy choice here. Thank you for giving me this one. Sonic 3, guys, is going to be huge.
Is it just Sonic 3 or is it Sonic something?
Sonic the Return of Xander Cage. No, Sonic 3. I don't know. And we have one of the most all-time video game villains ever. Like when people think of video game villains, like there's Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, Bowser from Mario, Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda, but Shadow is easily a top 10 video game villain for kids growing up on WB64, watching their Sonic TV series. Gotta go faster. I think Sonic is a beloved property. The box office has been steadily rising, I think, for each installment. And I think Sonic 3 having the Christmas legs opposite Lion King will be performing very well. If you can't go see Lion King, I need to go see Sonic. Yeah, the Keanu Reeves playing Sonic's villain. Like, come on. I think the trailer, by the way, excellent trailer. So we're getting not only getting Dr. Robotnik, we're getting Dr. Robotnik's father, and we're getting seemingly the tragedy of Shadow as perceived in this trailer. Shadow, I don't want to spoil people for them what I think the movie will develop, but I think this might be unironically the most emotional Sonic movie given Shadow's shadowy and tragic past about what happened when he was getting experimented on, and the person who was very much attached to Shadow and why he's so angry in the trailer.
Is he like Rocket Raccoon's brother or something?
No, but Rocket is a good example of like, hey, this guy was experimented on in the past. He had somebody that he really liked that sympathized with him, but then yeah. So then I think Sonic 3 is just going to be very emotional. Fights are going to be cool. The effects already look cool. And I think they just really are going to hit their stride with this property with Sonic 3. The sky is the limit. I'm saying 700 to 800. I'm going high for Sonic. I think Sonic's going to be a big success.
How much did the other ones make? Let me check.
Let's do that. I think Sonic 1, if I had to guess, was like 350, 3 something. Sonic 2 was like 4 something. If I had to guess. And I think this one's just going to be an astronomical hit. I think the hype for this movie was so long. 3, there we go. 3 for the first one. I think 400 for the second one, maybe.
Yeah.
There we go. 405. So yeah, I think this one 500 at minimum. I think this one's just going to go way in. Domestic opening for that second one was 72 million. Yeah, this one's gonna. I don't know. It's gonna have the Christmas. It's probably gonna hit that Wednesday at Christmas. I don't know about 72 million, but it's gonna have legs, people. I think it's gonna be a very exciting one. It's gonna hit like 75 to 90 million opening weekend. So yeah, I think it's gonna be another big hit. Sonic 3. So what's next? I think for our 4 and 5 picks, we're looking at something that's going to be in the 200, 300, $400 million range here. I'm out of my predictions actually, so now I got to look at the leaderboards here.
Yeah. I'm between 2 Paramount.
Oh, movies. I know where to go here. Paramount. Okay, let me look here. We have one there. I don't know what the other Paramount one is here.
Maybe I'm gonna regret betting against animation, but we haven't had a big, and I don't think this is gonna be like a big hit, but we haven't had like a solid horror hit, and I feel like Smile 2 can take that place.
Okay, do that. I think you're forgetting something, but I'll take it. I'll take it instead.
Ooh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, Smile is a big. I just looked at the box office for the first one.
217 worldwide.
I see no reason for this not to hit like 300.
Or 250 at the very least.
At the very least, it's going to be a big hit. But yeah, I think Smile Horror is going to do really well here. What was the other Paramount one? I'm trying to look for what was the other Paramount one that you could be thinking of.
Really, you can't think about it. It's like the number one choice if you were picking Paramount movies. Well, maybe number 2.
Is Gladiator Paramount? Is that it?
Yeah, but I'm not. But I'm not thinking about it.
There we go. So I don't know. I would have to say for mine. I'll go Venom 3. I'll do it.
Really? I mean, I don't know why I'm judging you. Those movies make money. The Last Dance. Horse Venom.
Yeah, looking at the last movie, they've been going down, but like the first one was like 800 million. The second one dropped all the way to 500 million, I think. Venom 3 will continue to drop down, but I don't think. Yeah,
Almost
so
900.
that's
But
crazy. That was like the appeal of seeing Venom for the first time. Well done, at least. Not Spider-Man 3.
well, third.
At least what it looks like and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's like it was very accurate look. So yeah, this one dropped all the way down to 500. So that's
COVID, but yeah.
you're right. That's 2021 recovering from COVID. So now we're back. We've seen some of the recovery from the past couple of years already, 2023, 2024. And I think this one will make 500 million again. I have no reason that this won't hit 500 million max.
If I had to put a number on it, I would say 400.
400, yeah, 400 to 500. It seems very comfortable for this one. The marketing hasn't been great. It just he's on the run again, guys, and that's about it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a decent hit. Not as big as the first one, but I think again, 400 to 600 million easily for that movie. So then was that our fourth or fifth one?
Force.
That was our fourth. So we're already at 5. Damn, we're moving.
This is hard, man, because
yeah, where do you go for this one?
I want to take a risk, but I know it's not
Me
going to make
too.
money. Like, I
You
mean,
want to
it's
do
not
Lord of
gonna-
the Rings so badly?
no. I'm talking about something else.
Red one. This is hard. Yeah. Ooh, Saturday Night could be a good hit.
Yeah, that could be like a sleeper hit.
Never know. Might be too niche.
Yeah, I mean, it is Saturday Night. It
Yeah,
has the
true.
brand name.
Has a brand name for sure.
Mm,
So yeah, for me, I'm looking at a couple of still looking at the franchises for me. There's Transformers still on the board. Wild Robot could be a success again, animated. But yeah,
I'm gonna go with it. I don't want to because I want to go with the risk, but I know it's too much of a risk, so I'm just gonna go with Transformers one.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, these movies have been declining at the box office since Michael Bay left, even when he was in the process of leaving. But this is animated. This is different. This is actually like visually different. This is just like the Transformers, no human characters. It's all in Cybertron. It is kind of like I don't know how much people care about explaining the relationship between Megatron and Optimus, but again, different than what we've seen in the movies so far. And I think there's another like 200, at least 200 million worldwide. So that's why I'm going with it.
I'm with you. I think 200 minimum for this kind of movie. 200. It might play similar to TMNT. That's the comp I would use for this one. TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Let me look at the box office for that one real quick. 180 million worldwide for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Transformers, I would argue, is more appealing than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. I think 200 is the floor for this movie. I would even go as far as say 300, maybe as well, 350. It's just
and
that
apparently it's very good.
apparently it's very good. The animation has always looked really good. So I'm very curious. Yeah, it didn't really look that like good to me, but people are saying the storyline between Optimus and Megatron is really appealing. And Transformers has always been a decently successful property. So can't go wrong with that too much. I will go. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna do it though. What's a king to a god? I'm going Gladiator 2.
The one with the rap music, Evan.
The one with the rap music. Oh my gosh, rap music in my Rome? Not in my Rome. But yeah, Gladiator 2, I think this is going to be the return, not of Xander Cage, but of Ridley Scott, for sure. You know, the dude is what? Pushing 90? 80? I don't know. Let me look up Ridley Scott's old ass. He is 86 years old. How? He looks good for his age. 86 years old, consistently making solid movies. I really love the one with The Last Duel. That flopped though.
I love that movie.
Last
The more
Duel
I
is-
think about it, the more I think that's one of like his best, like top 10. Easily.
Yeah, for sure. What was the last movie he did? Napoleon, just last year. Napoleon went on. I forget how much money that made.
Not great,
Napoleon
but
box office. It made 221, which is pretty decent.
just the budget that killed it. But yeah,
For sure. And you could see the budget on screen. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, what a humongous epic! But if Napoleon could do 220, Gladiator 2
3.
with Denzel with the awesome trailer. No matter how many dislikes there are for the fucking trailer, I think universally people really like what they see. It's gladiators fighting. The sword and sandal genre has died. But why did it become a genre in the first place? Gladiator was a huge success. And of course, Gladiator didn't start it. There was always some epic ones in the 70s and 80s, obviously. 60s, one earlier before that. But Gladiator really jump-started it back in the modern era in the early 2000s, and people wanted to replicate that. So I would say Gladiator 2, maybe 400. It has a Thanksgiving effect, too. It has like that
Yeah.
Martian. It might go as successful as the Martian. Let me see how much the Martian made.
The Martian made a 600. I have it right here.
Oh, perfect. 630. Wow.
His
Wow,
last
wow,
big
wow.
hit.
Bring him home. What a great tagline. So yeah, in domestic opening only at 54 and then having that kind of legs. Wow. So yeah, I think Gladiator 2 is going to have some good Thanksgiving or good legs and then have some good run over Thanksgiving in early December as well. So I have, and I think, I haven't talked to Josh about it, but I think Gladiator 2 is pretty much in my top 10 for Best Picture. I'm that confident in Ridley Scott's return. I'm that confident in the movie overall, just being a very fun, epic film.
Yeah,
and
it can also have like a lot of technical
100% sound, production,
costumes.
Denzel could even be in
supporting.
Just looking at what people are saying already. People are saying him and the mother in that movie, I forget her name, are going to be very good. So yeah, I'm very high on Gladiator 2. I think the 400 to 500 million range here. I think we have a good top 5 here. Let's look at the top 5 again from our list. We kind of zoomed through that faster than I expected, but there's a lot of options. I think this fall, look at this. I think there's a lot of interesting, appealing fall options. As you can see, predictably, franchises. Marvel is there with Venom. DC there with Joker, but then we have your Disney, you have your Moana, Mufasa, similar to how Disney upped their game this summer with Deadpool and Inside Out. I think they're going to continue that with Moana 2 and Mufasa, a sequel/prequel to Lion King. But don't count WB out. They have Wicked, they have Joker, they have Beetlejuice, and they have Smile from our list.
We have a runner over here.
Exactly. And then we have Paramount with Gladiator, or Universal, or whatever it is. And then Transformers. What company is doing Transformers?
Paramount.
Yeah. So yeah, and let's look at our danger zone. What could be the big flop? White Bird is finally coming out.
Allegedly,
but as that we could use that for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that.
No, this is the beauty of going first because now I get to give you your danger zone first.
Give it to me. Give me Nosferatu.
I'm going Megalopolis.
Oh, that's gonna be a Megaflopolis. That's gonna be. And to be honest, it used to be one of the things where I really wanted to see it because like Adam Driver, and it's been so long since I've seen Francis Ford Coppola. But like hearing all the things about him in the movie itself and what went on, I'm like, I might just catch this on streaming. It might not even be a theatrical curiosity for me personally anymore. It's like the more I hear about it, I just feel sick thinking about it. I wish I saw it before all the controversy, but now it's just stuck in my head. I'm like,
good for the people that watched it in Cannes.
I know, right? It's like people before all the controversy and all that kind of shit happened, and it's like, man, I might not even give it the theatrical curiosity check. When is Megalopolis coming out?
September 27, end of the month.
27, and there's already the Wild Robots coming out that weekend. I'm way more excited to see that.
And Beetlejuice is probably still gonna be legging it out.
Exactly. Transformers 1 the week before that. So yeah, what's another flop that I think is going to happen? Probably not a big flop, but I'll do it. And this is a movie that we had part of the same brand that we had in our winter box office, where I thought, hey, Madam Web is going to do decently
Oh,
well.
okay.
I think Madam Web's going to be decently well, and it flopped hard. Can you pull up Madam Web for me, please, Edgar? Be a
Yeah.
doll. Put up Madam Web for me, because spoiler alert, I'm giving Edgar. Uh, I'll give him a fun one. I'm gonna give him Craven the Hunter, not based off of Craven's Last Hunt, the great comic run. But
50
yeah,
million
Madam Web
domestic.
did 15 million domestic, 100 million worldwide. Will it be that badly received? Craven, which looks to be more
Fun.
appealing, just on a fun action level, right? It's just your basic trailer. My dad's doing all this shit, so I gotta, go against him. But I get hit by tigers, and now I have powers, and now it's like I'm taking over. It's like, okay. And then he's taking over. He's like going against his father and all that kind of stuff, and he's not as deadly as you think. And the anti-hero Craven bullshit. Anti-hero might become the villain. We'll see. Craven, I don't see capping out above 30 million domestic opening weekend. I see it hitting 20, 25 opening weekend. It's now coming out December 13th, right alongside Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim, whatever it's called. And we don't know. Maybe Wicked and Moana 2 could still be usurping this movie. But the week after that, it's going to get sandwiched by Mufasa and Sonic. So both Lord of the Rings and Craven don't have the best legs, but at least Lord of the Rings, you can understand, it's an anime. It'll have its niche audience.
Yeah.
Craven,
It'd be like a little Boy and the Heron type of hit.
exactly. Craven, though, anybody who's remotely interested in seeing Craven will also be seeing Mufasa and Sonic, just 100%. So Craven's going to get like 60, 65% drop in his second weekend. And I think opening weekend is going to be, again, 20, 25 million. Just on like this is a fun action movie. I'll see it, whatever. So yeah, I think Craven the Hunter, will it be better than Madam Web? I mean, box office wise, I don't know. It has that December luxury, but I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna say just barely above 100 million. I'll say 150. I'll say 150.
I'm laughing. Could it be what's it called? Anyone But You type of movie for December? I don't think so, but
No, yeah, they don't have that luxury. But that's about it.
I was hoping you'll give me Nosferatu because that's like the X factor for me. I feel like that could small little hit, but I don't know.
I wonder what Nosferatu budget could be.
I don't think I think it might be I think it might be less expensive than the Northman. I think
Northman
it might.
seemed very expensive, but just looking at the scope of it, it looked really big. I don't know.
Another small hit that I could easily see happening is A Complete Unknown.
Yes, which directed by James Mangold. It kind of had that quick turnaround with the trailer coming out a couple of months ago, and it's already having that Christmas release date. Musical biopics are always very not hit and miss. They've been actually really good so far in terms of box office prospects. And it has Timothée Chalamet, who's doing very good in the Dune franchise and Wonka franchise. So might have that curiosity factor there. Christmas has some interesting, variety to see this December. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think this is a pretty solid. I don't think we're missing anything major. Again, we're gonna have some horror hits. Speak No Evil might be solid. Some other horror aspects could be cool here. Nosferatu.
I don't. It depends on how wide the movie goes, but just out of the curiosity factor, maybe The Apprentice could be somewhat of a hit.
Maybe, yeah. I don't even know about that one, but yeah. What do you think about Red One? By the way, The Rock and Chris Evans. It looks bad. It looks bad. I might want to pick the Red One for you. Actually, the Red One looks more fun to bomb. Is Red One gonna be worse than Craven?
Yes,
it does. It looks like it. But it's also Amazon MGM, so how much of it is really? I hate that bullshit. But anyways,
Another small hit, Terrifier
Yeah,
3.
I'll
is
keep
a
craving.
niche.
I'll keep craving, but Red One looks bad. Sorry, what you're saying?
Terrifier 3 has like its own niche audience, so
Yeah, it'll do solid. But okay,
but I
that's
think that's
good.
it.
Perfect
That's our
timing. Yeah,
list.
I gotta head out soon. This is perfect timing. So yeah, again, my list: Mufasa, Joker 2, Sonic 3, Venom 3, Gladiator 2, and Edgar gave me Megaflopolis.
And for me, I have Moana 2, Wicked, Beetlejuice, Smile 2, Transformers 1, and Evan gave me Craven the Hunter.
And next time we'll see us, we'll be recapping the fall. It'll be the end of the year. We'll probably do this in January in 2025.
Wow.
Which is wild to me. I love doing these episodes with you. I'm very fond of the box office and what we could possibly see. And looking ahead at 2025, that's going to be interesting to see how that year compares to 2024.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a fun fall season to look forward to.
Definitely better than our last fall. We fumbled it last year. Kinda, sorta.
Yeah, we missed some stuff there. We did not see Taylor Swift coming in and making a big hit.
The Exorcist flopped big time.
Exorcist flopped. Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah, we've been doing this for what, like at least 5 episodes now, starting last year.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can find me on Twitter, Harris EV9, still championing the Acolyte, renew the Acolyte. It's one of the more bigger bummers. Nathan and I talked about it for a long time, like an hour and 45 minutes about the Acolyte and why it's looking dire for me personally as a Star Wars fan. I don't want to go on a whole another rant, but like I'm just focusing on comics and books right now because movies and TV for Star Wars are not really not looking good for me. Besides, of course, Andor season 2. But if you even remotely liked the Acolyte, there are a number of ways you can even try and save this franchise. I mean, save the show, and then save the franchise. And the franchise in general. Exactly, they are closely linked. And I wrote a letter finally. What's it called? Change.org. That's at near over 60,000 now. And there's a lot of other things. Keep on talking about it on social media. Manny Jacinto just recently at Dragon Con said one of his life goals is to get the show back. He said keep on fighting for all the fans out there. It does make a difference. So yeah, that's me. And I've been having a great weekend. This is my high school reunion this weekend, and it's been a blast. I haven't seen some of my friends in over 10 years. So it's been a great time this weekend, and it's back to work tomorrow. So there we go. Sad.
Me personally, for the past 2 weeks, I've been in the process of moving, so I haven't watched a single movie like in 2 weeks.
Dude,
I'm dying to watch Strange Darling, Blink Twice, Sing Sing, Finally Went Wide. I'm missing a lot, but I'm gonna try to catch either two.
Yeah, I haven't told Josh, but our next episode is going to be 30 minutes long because I have not seen much either. It's been pretty bad for me.
Yeah, but I'm gonna repeat what I said at the top of this episode. We are giving away a copy of Beetlejuice, digital copy in 4K. So again, just leave a comment, subscribe. You need to be a subscriber in order to enter the giveaway. And just leave a comment. Tell us what was your favorite thing that you watched, either film or TV during the summer, or what are you excited for the fall? And you just enter automatically after that. And you can find this podcast at WHFG Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. You can find me at EDG or TG. You can find some of my written work at Loud and Clear Reviews and the Cinema Spot. You can find my last 2 reviews for Borderlands and The Crow back to back, baby. But yeah, it's been a fun time, and we will be back in a few days, maybe in a week, for what we watch in August. And yeah, we'll see you until then.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a